18 minutes to post. Some Budweiser race conditions for you. The purse here is $1 million. $600,000 will go to the winner. Of course, in the case of Real Quiet, it would be $5.6 million. The distance is 1.5 miles. The track is fast. The temperature is 72 degrees, and it's a brisk wind that will be a tailwind coming down the stretch, and yet it'll be a headwind on the backside. As Dave Johnson and Charles C. Canty are with me, and it's time to take a closer look at some of the horses in the race. And let's begin, first of all, with Classic Cat, a horse who finished third in the Preakness, Charles C., and appears to be very much on the improve.
Well, part of that has to do with the fact they relocated him from the West Coast to the East Coast. His feet were stinging him on the harder tracks in California. He responded by winning the Lexington Stakes at Keeneland. He was that good third you mentioned in the Preakness. He worked here very well at Belmont, and he's got that right kind of stalking style.
Trained by David Cross. Dave, let's take a look at Parade Ground. A fairly dull performance in the Kentucky Derby. He was sixth. Then they brought him back in the Peter Pan 2 weeks ago, and he was third there.
Well, he might have bled in the Derby. He certainly bled in his last race internally. That's not an uncommon occurrence, so he's been treated with the anti-bleeding medication Lasix for the first time. A big plus because it's going to be easier this time for his breathing.
A horse with local roots, Chauncey, would be the New York bred number 10 Raffy's Majesty, and he's a horse who is a very lightly raced horse. In fact, he did not even race as a 2-year-old.
He's only raced 4 times, but they've been pointing him specifically for the Belmont Stakes. They know that he's got a very physical style that'll suit this track. He's a great big colt with a long stride, and there's his trainer, Jimmy Bond, and he really likes the way this horse is trained. And think about Stage Georgiani. He was the same lightly raced, big kind of a colt who upset Ford Pass's chance for the Triple Crown.
And he's at odds of 13-1. Limit Out is another horse we should take a look at, Dave. A horse with local roots as well, because the Hall of Famer Alan Jerkins is his trainer.
Well, this horse has only raced 5 times and won 4 of them, but he's the biggest question mark in the field. He's never raced around 2 turns. He's never been farther than a mile, and his trainer, Alan Jerkins, is legendary for pulling off the major upsets. You know, Jerkins is the guy who beat Secretariat with 2 different horses.
One of them was Onion back in 1973, and in terms of father and son stories, this is a good one, Charleston, because Thomas Joe is trained by Alan Jerkins' son, Jim.
Well, if the apples don't fall far from the tree, watch out for this. Jimmy Jerkins was his father's assistant for 20 years. He's been on his own less than 1 year, and he's done very, very well. Certainly, he's done a masterful job with this gelding, Thomas Joe. He's won all 4 starts with this horse since he's come under his tutelage, and the colt is consistent. He's been improving. You add Chris McCarron to the mix, very dangerous, and again, home court advantage here. He's stabled here.
Victory Gallop is the second choice at 5-1. The horse, I think, is in better shape than the trainer. Elliott Walden broke his ankle 2 weeks ago in a pickup basketball game. He's with Leslie.
Al, he did break his ankle. He said that this might be the year that both he and Michael Jordan retire. But, Elliot, your horse has beaten everybody in the race except Real Quiet the last 2 races. How will this distance make a difference?
Well, I hope it will, Leslie. You know, he should be suited to the 1.5 miles, and hopefully we'll turn the tables on him today.
Maybe so. Deep closers don't often win, but what makes you think this could be your race?
Well, he's suited for the 1.5 miles. I've read for it. He runs like it, so hopefully today will be the day.
And what kind of tactically, what would you like to see from your race?
He's going to be stalking Real Quiet, and he's going to have him in his sights all the way around there, and then we're going to see what happens turning for home.
Well, he's hoping that his horse is more like Easy Goer this year. Over to you, Al.
All right, thank you, Leslie. You saw Bill Mott, the recently elected Hall of Fame trainer, saddling Victory Gallop because Elliott Walden is immobile. Okay, it is time to go to the windows. Charleston, your pick is?
I've been talking about home court advantage. I better take a base horse here. I'll take Grand Slam.
Grand Slam from the outside. Mr. Dave Johnson.
I didn't know you were going to pick it, Charleston. I'll take Grand Slam, too. 4 for 4 at Belmont Park and 7-1. How about you, Al?
I've never bet a 4 to 5 shot in my life, but today is the day. It's Real Quiet for the Triple Crown. What do you think, Leslie?
Al, I agree. It is Real Quiet. Despite the criticism, this horse will give us a 4-legged hero. He's versatile. He's going to get the job done. Jim, who do you like?
Well, he's been improving with every race. I think that Real Quiet will win the Triple Crown and be a very worthy champion. And looking for a price, I'll take an exacta of Real Quiet and Thomas Joe. Almost time now for the cry of Riders Up. There are the call has gone out for Riders Up. There's Bob Baffert on the right. The tempo quickening very, very much here at Belmont. under the old trees for this 130th running of the Belmont Stakes. Here they come. There is Kent DeZormo and his mount. Will he be the Triple Crown winner? We'll find out soon.
Not ready. There we go.
We'll be right back.
Good luck, everybody. Oh.
Dr. Pepper remembers the 1977 Triple Crown winner, Seattle Slew.
Winning the Triple Crown meant that Slew had done everything that we thought was imaginable.
The dream came true for everyone. I mean, everybody wants a Derby winner, and then after you have a Derby winner, you want to have a Preakness winner. And then if you can have both of those, you want to have a Belmont winner. And it's sweet. And then if you can do it undefeated, it just makes it that much more sweeter.
Star of the hit Broadway musical Jekyll and Hyde, singing New York, New York.
I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York, these vagabond shoes are longing to stray and step around the heart of it. New York, New York. I wanna wake up in a city that doesn't sleep, to find a king of the hill, top of the hill. These little towns are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New
minutes to the race. Time for the post parade. Number 1, Hanneman Highway, was scratched this morning. Number 2 is Thomas Joe. Thomas Joe was ridden by Chris McCarron, who won this race last year. 7 wins, 14 lifetime starts. Number 3 is Basic Trainee, who was dead last in the Kentucky Derby and 8th in the Preakness, losing those 2 races by a combined 97 lanes. Number 4 was Cholito, who was entered in midweek. This horse has a lot of speed. Graham Motion is the trainer. He was 11th in the Kentucky Derby. Number 5 is Parade Ground, trained by Neil Howard, ridden by the Hall of Famer Pat Day, who has won this race twice. He's been off the board only once in 11 career starts. Number 6 is the improving Classic Cat. David Cross, the trainer, won the Kentucky Derby in '83. John Velasquez is aboard. This horse has won more than $400,000. Number 7 is the Alan Jerkins trained Limit Out, who's been to the races only 5 times, but with 4 victories. Most recently, he was 3rd in the Withers. Number 8 is the star of the show, Real Quiet, Baffert and DeSormo, and $5 million at stake today. Number 9 was Hotwell's He Was Scratched. Number 10, Raffy's Majesty, trained by Jim Bond, the most lightly raced horse in the field. He's been to the races just 4 times with 2 wins. Jorge Chavez up. Number 11 is the runner-up in the Derby and the Preakness, Victory Gallop, owned by Prestonwood Farm, trained by Elliott Walden. The jockey is Gary Stevens, who won this race with Thunder Gulch in 1995. Then the two Wayne Lucas horses. They are uncoupled in the betting. Number 12 is Yarrow Bray. He is ridden by Mike Smith. He finished first in the Illinois Derby in his last start. And 13 is Grand Slam with the Hall of Famer Jerry Bailey, who won this race in 91 with Hansel aboard. He's won 4 races in 8 starts, most recently a win in the Peter Pan. 5 minutes to post. Real Quiet is 4-5. Will we see our first Triple Crown winner in 20 years? Stay tuned.
The crown is yet to be won, but already there have been such wonderful thrills.
Down the stretch they come. Real Quiet leads it. Victory Gallop on the outside with a last desperate move. In the final stride, Real Quiet catches Normo. Yes, Real Quiet wins it. Bob Baffert, 2 in a row. On the outside, it's Real Quiet taking command and going clear. But here we go to the finish, and it's going to be Real Quiet, the Derby winner, gets the Preakness.
Horse and rider both deserve it, but one victory remains to be won.
Back at Belmont Park, it's one of those quintessentially New York sports moments where the buzz right now is palpable. 2 minutes to post. A look at the odds. Hanneman Highway was scratched. Thomas Joe is 28-1. Basic Trainee at least 99-1. Shalito is 85-1. Parade Ground 20-1. All outsiders. Classic Cat now 10-1. Live It Out at 20. Real Quiet. Odds on 4-5. Hotwells has been scratched. Rappy's Majesty 13-1. Then the second choice, Victory Gallop, now 9-2. He's dropped a bit. Yarrow Bray is 31-1. Grand Slam is the third choice at 7-1. And a $5 million bonus awaits the connections of Real Quiet if he can win the Triple Crown. Win a Triple Crown for the first time since affirmed in 1978. So the horses are beginning to make their way to the starting gate. This is a 1.5 mile track. Once around. Bob Baffert tossing out Real Quiet buttons. And then there's Wayne Lucas, who's normally effusive and in the headlines, but strangely, uncommonly silent this week. You might say he's been, in effect, real quiet. What does he know that we don't? He has 2 horses in the race, Yarrow Bray and Grand Slam. And then there's Elliott Walden, whose horse Victory Gallop has finished second in each of the first 2 legs of the Triple Crown. Carl Pascarella, the chairman of Visa, partially blocked in that shot, and there's a better look at a man who loves horse racing and would love nothing better than to write a check for $5 million to the Triple Crown winner. Believe me, it's been worth it for his company and for him. The Triple Crown winners, and there they are, beginning in 1919 with Sir Barton through Whirlaway and Citation and Secretariat and the great names all the way through affirmed in 1978. So this is the anniversary of Citation winning it in 48, the 50th anniversary, the golden and the silver of Secretariat in 1973. How do the horses look to you, Charleston?
Going to the post very, very carefully. I might ask you, Al, if you know when the last odds-on favorite to win was. Like Real Quiet, 20 years ago, affirmed.
The last 4 odds-on favorites have lost the Belmont. So the horses are loading this field of 11, ready to go 1.5 miles. And for the call of the race and the final leg of the Triple Crown, let's go upstairs to Dave Johnson. Dave.